Turbo wastegates. Turbo wastegates. Good evening, everybody.
Evening, Pat, on behalf of everybody.
Good evening, dear Anne. Here we are at Fishy Mansions. It's Friday night, and we're going to make an effort to answer some more of your inquiries and research questions.
Damn right we are. Shall we start? We might as well start. We'll start with Michael David Spittler's question.
Splendid.
And the question is, are the messages on the runout grooves Porky's or your own?
Good question. Now, Porky, for those who might not know it, was a fellow in London, a very agreeable fellow called George Peckham. And George was a very, very skilled cutter of vinyl records. And the cut's kind of an important thing. You can make changes to the sound of your record even at that latest stage. And we would, like so many British artists, we would pile down to Porky's to get our stuff cut. And a very agreeable chap. He'd always take you to the pub once he'd cut your records, you know.
Nice.
And one of the great things that I think all of us had always really enjoyed about records is that occasionally you'll see in the runoff groove at the centre of the record little messages. It'll say a Porky Prime cut, which is George putting his mark on his work, but then George would offer you the opportunity to put your own messages on there as well. And having grown up holding records up to the light going, oh, it says eggs and crumpets or something like that. Of course, we wanted to do that too. So the answer is the Porky Prime cut. That's George signing his work. And anything else you find in there, it usually says something like Boris is digging the potatoes or something like that. That's ours.
Lovely stuff. So everyone will know exactly how to read the runoff grooves.
There you go. It's part of the fun of making a record. It's like when we did Barter Bake and Dave Barker phoned me up and he said, you know what we should put on the sleeve? I said, what should we put on the sleeve, Dave? He said, down in the bottom corner, you should have a little bit at the bottom that says, file under, wigged out. And it's in the same spirit as that.
Nice. Easter eggs.
If you will.
That's what they call them these days. We have no Easter eggs on display today.
We don't, do we? No.
No, we usually have a couple of international Easter eggs.
Got a couple of quite nice 18th century glasses behind me.
A collection of. Address supplied for burglary purposes.
Address supplied for burglary purposes. Do it at your own risk. We've got a panther in here.
Yeah. And he may look soft, but he's as sharp as several tacks attached to a whirling dervish. Right, the next question is from David Good.
Oh, yes.
Who would be Boswell to your Johnson?
I beg your pardon?
Who would be Boswell to your Johnson? And I should specify, Dr. Johnson it is we're talking about for those in climes foreign.
Oh, I see. I understand. Who would be Boswell to my Johnson? I don't know. Who'd want a job like that? That's a really tricky one. I really don't know. We did discuss the possibility of Martin Amis getting a job
we did.
Once, didn't
we did, and of Will Self. We were right down that whole, edgy folk of about the same sort of vintage.
Yeah,
weren't we?
Yeah, I mean Martin's got a few years on me and Will. I was at college at the same time as Will.
Yeah, but he's terribly fit, I've heard.
Will?
Oh, he's a butcher's dog.
Well, that'd be a strange career move for him at this stage.
It might not be true. Fake news, as we know, is wide rife.
Oh, it'd be a shame to think he'd gone lightweight in his old age.
Anybody else you can think of? I mean,
well, I'm not having.
Writers.
I'm not having.
You're
Amos.
not having Amos.
I'm not having that.
Out of the question.
I can't have Will because he's too healthy and I might not understand the words he uses, so that's no good.
We've got dictionaries.
Yeah, but have we got the same dictionary as Will? Probably not.
I made sure I did, just so I could read his books.
Did you?
I went out and got one special.
Yeah?
Special like.
A wise move. A sagacious move, one might say, if one was Will. But who would do that? I really, really don't know. That's a tough job. I mean, people have tried. It's tough.
It's tough. So no answer for David Good.
David, I'm sorry. I cannot really help on this one. I don't know who would do a horrible gig like that.
Sorry, David. Bad.
Yeah.
The next question is from Greg Wall.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure that we can do a similar job with this one. Who would play you in a film?
Ah,
that's right.
Many years ago, in the racehorse pub where everyone in Northampton used to drink all the time, I discovered that a small clique of clever so-and-sos were compiling a cast list for Racehorse, the movie. And there were some very entertaining bits of casting going on. Even Jackie Davison's cat was played by. Oh, that's right. He was voiced by Brian Blessed, the cat.
Oh right, okay.
Nice move. And to my complete horror, I discovered that I was on this list, and that the person who had been booked to play me was Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
I wasn't flattered.
Well, I don't know about that. People love Alan Rickman.
Well, they do, though they'd be very ill-advised to do that now. The poor fella's passed on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if...
It'd be like with these people who marry ghosts, you know.
Well, one of my suggestions for the novelist was going to be for Terry Pratchett, because I've heard he was ever so patient. But he'd have to do it beyond the grave. Yeah, he's immensely patient now.
Yeah.
Terrifyingly patient.
I don't think Alan Rickman's the fella for me. I really don't know who would do a thing like that.
What's his face? Cusack.
Now you had to explain him to me. I'm not good at actors, but he's an Irish actor, right?
No.
Oh well.
John Cusack, only because of the hair, really, for the younger. He's got exactly the right hair.
Has he?
For the younger years and the older years. Well, he's got your hair, basically. So that's really all I'm
going to have a word with him about that.
I'm basing that on. No, I mean, I think he's got his own set. He's got his own separate set. It's not the same hair. He's not sitting about without hair now.
So, with all his movie star dollars,
yeah,
he chooses to have a haircut like some indigent backstreet musician who cuts his own hair.
Well, I think, as with you, it's just his lot in life.
But surely he can afford to go to a big fancy hairdresser like Bill Clinton did, you know.
Yeah, well, for whatever reasons, he opts not to. I mean, to be honest, you could afford to go to a fucking barber if you wanted to.
My barber died.
Well, that is true, yeah. And it is hard to find a good barber. I would imagine. Yeah. I have cut my own hair for the last 24 years.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
That's why I look so good.
I had a glorious period when Stevie was around, and I used to get my hair cut by a proper hairdresser, but no, I'm afraid it's just back to random hacking now.
A man of means.
Who's going to play me in a movie then? I say Tilda Swinton.
You did say Tilda Swinton last time, and I sort of disapprove.
She's good at acting.
She's not that good.
She's got the build for it.
I'm not. No.
She's done geezers before.
No, I just realised I was nearly going to go down the same rabbit hole. I think it's another unresolved one, isn't it? Now, who would play you in a film? Just write in with your suggestions. Answers on a postcard in the form of something on the internet.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh
Come
dear.
Oh dear,
oh dear.
Reap the whirlwind. Come on with it. Who? I can't think of anybody particularly.
They'd need to be tall.
Yeah, I mean, they would need to be tall, although you could do it the other way around, you know, kind of graduate style, and just go for exactly... Get, what's his face? He could do it. Dustin bloody Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman?
Dustin Hoffman.
Well, there you have it, Dave. It wasn't Dave, was it? Who asked this question? Who's responsible for this?
It was Greg. Greg Wall.
Greg?
Yeah.
Greg, well, there you have it.
Anyway, we need to rattle along. We can't be just extemporizing like this. Darren Brock has a question. In
Okay.
fact, he has two.
Right.
The first one is, if you were a DJ, what would be your opening tune and why?
Uh-huh.
And I'll give you number two at the same time, just so
Yeah.
you can mull over it. Which song was hardest to complete but gave you the warm fuzzies when done?
The warm fuzzies, is it? Well, I am from time to time a DJ, and I always start with the same song, which is Alex Chilton tune called "Make a Little Love." It's just a crazy, shouty, "I'm here" kind of 12 bar. He goes, "Ain't no cuffs in my pants," he says, and yeah, always start my sets with that.
It's a tune.
It's a tune. And songs that were difficult to accomplish but turned out lovely in the end.
Very same.
Yeah, okay. I suppose one obvious one here is Mr. Odd, because that was kind of battling for life from the word go. It started as a mad, stupid jam one night when we came home from the pub. Lawrence had this little sort of ukulele type thing that he was strumming on, and we were all singing along, Mr. Odd, Mr. Odd. And then there was another little refrain that went, Rolf Harris, Rolf Harris. We didn't know back then. And yeah, then there was, Lawrence came up with a little verse that went, happiness, happiness, what's that under your mattress? So it was this very confused thing, and we just mucked about with it for a laugh. And a few days later, it wouldn't get out of my head. The little chord sequence wouldn't leave. And I said to the band, come on, let's make it a song. And they were all like, nah, you can't be serious. You can't make that into a song. And I battled, and eventually we did. And then we went to record Cult of the Basement, and we put the song on there. And Richard Formby committed this beautiful psychedelic guitar solo in the middle, the latter half of which he just totally takes off and wigs out. It's just feedback and tremolos and shit. And we mixed it. Martin Stebbing mixed it, and got it home. And I thought, you know what? Richard needs to be louder. So I had to phone up the record company. I had to say, sorry, chaps, more money, please. I'm going back in to remix Mr. Odd. And they went, all right then. And I went in and I remixed it, and I made sure that Richard was wailing like the heat death of that bloody universe.
I'm glad you did. It's great, that solo.
But you know what? I got it back. I played it to the band, and Mulroney said to me, well done, Patrick. You've ruined Mr. Odd now. You can't even hear the bloody drums, he said.
Well, he's a lovely man, but he was mistaken.
He is a lovely fellow, but he was off the mark on that one.
It was. It's great. It's my favourite of your... I think I've said it before on these things, or maybe I'm just remembering the last time that we were... Anyway, I like it. So, you know, there's that.
I like it too.
That is a successfully answered question, which feels good.
Splendid.
Matt McLean is next.
Ah, Matt, hi.
And his question is encouragingly straightforward.
Yes.
Top 5 drinks / cocktails.
All right. Number 1, Pilsner Urquell.
Nice.
Bolszenski Prastoy. Number 2, Budvar from the Czech Republic. So 2 lovely beers straight away. Other drinks that we like. Kimmel is a good one. It's a very strange liqueur made with, what is it? Is it caraway? Cumin, that's right. And yeah, sort of like a slightly less sweet and sticky version of Sambuca.
Or a slightly sweeter version of Unicum.
Yeah, there's a kind of aquavit vibe going on.
Yeah, it's got that kind of business presence.
Yeah, I recall very fondly a gig we did in Dortmund in 2013 with Thomas Truex, Paul Wolfish and Marcus Maria Janssen.
Pleasant people.
Lovely people. And we finished this gig at the City Theatre in Dortmund. And Paul Wolfish had a job there at the time. He was the musical director at the theatre. And so when everything was done, he took us to this little theatrical people's bar. And we went in and we ordered beers. And the lovely people who ran the place came round with trays with these tiny, lovely, ancient glasses, probably like 19th, 18th century little glasses, full of free Kimmel.
That's nice.
Beautiful evening.
Was it refrigerated?
Yeah, straight from the old chiller.
Well, that's good. Because, well, it's just more pleasant that way.
Yeah. So we got 2 fine Czech beers. We got Kümmel.
Yeah.
Simon Phillips once bought us a lovely bottle of very soft, easy to drink Panamanian rum. As a general rule, I fear rum, but that was really nice. We had a quartet steering committee one evening and dispatched it with ease.
It must be the Panamanian element, because rum is tough. Real tough.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Jamaican rum just punches me in the face. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
We had some Indian rum once down at Imad Spa on Bridge Street.
Well, that certainly is rum.
That was a rum do, actually.
Yeah.
It smelled of joss sticks and tasted brutal.
It sounds foul.
Yeah, so we'll not be adding that to the
Yeah,
list. But
let's
the old
strike that from the list.
Panama Red Like, yeah, we can have him. And that just leaves us one more lovely drink, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? In the very, very dawn of the jazz butcher, before anything had come out, before there was a band, anything, when I was just a little bloke in a room with some cassettes with scrabbly noises on, I came up with my very first slogan. And that was, the jazz butcher drinks Cointreau. So I think just for historical reasons we'll pop Cointreau.
Well, I like a Cointreau every now and again.
I like a Cointreau now and again.
I once went camping and drank nothing but.
Yeah, I mean, most of Bath of Bacon was written under the influence of Cointreau.
Well, make of that what you will.
I think
listeners.
It explains a lot.
Yeah. And viewers, sorry. Not just... Ian Blakeswick.
Blatherwick, I think.
Oh, damn it.
Damn it.
I do apologise, Ian Blatherwick.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
but he has a quartet of questions.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
I shan't be giving you all of these in one rush.
No.
I'll give you them one at a time. If you could pick one artist to cover a song of yours, who would it be and which song?
I think I'm developing a bit of a sort of standard answer to this one these days. I think I'd like Adele to cover one of my songs, because then I would get a truckload of publishing money. And
What about?
Sorry?
No, I was going to say, what about Ed Sheeran? He may have more selling power.
He may well have more
Currently.
selling power, but I need to look myself in the face of a morning. Thank you. Ed Sheeran.
Now listen,
Ed Sheeran.
he's very well thought of in the business.
Not in this particular tiny subsection of the business. No.
But
It's-
listen, I'm just talking practicalities.
He's
Once
not
you-
admired at fishy mansions, whereas Adele, being a Tottenham girl and all, you know,
Yeah, he's
She's
a
on our
canary,
side.
I think, isn't he?
he's a what?
He's a canary.
I don't know. I thought he was from Ipswich, and they hate canaries.
Oh, is he Ipswich? I thought he was Norwich.
Nah, he's Ipswich.
How awful, a tractor boy.
Tractor boys, that's what they call them.
Yeah.
I went to Ipswich once for the football, and even as I was just coming out the ground, there was a fellow there selling the evening paper. He had a big sign up, and although the game was only just over, his headline was "Spurs fans stabbed." I thought, and I'm spending the evening here. How delightful.
Gruesome. Although I do have something of a soft spot for Ipswich.
Personally, no.
They're a very nice bunch. Never mind that. Number 2.
Hang on a minute. Did we ever answer that question? I don't think we did. What was,
No, you didn't. You didn't. You
what is the
swine.
question?
The
Oh yeah,
question
someone
is-
to cover my shit.
It was Adele, but the song we haven't established.
Yeah, well, it's got to be a big old shouty ballad for her, hasn't it? Let's give her Angels.
Angels by Adele, featuring the Jazz Butcher. You could maybe put it as. You could have like a little cameo in it.
Well, I could come on and do a little rap in the middle or something like that, couldn't I?
Yes.
1, 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
you could.
Sorted. I'll phone her up.
Adele, Angels, for the avoidance of doubt.
Number 1 for Christmas.
Which band were your favourite touring companions? Well, it's occurred to me, I think when we were talking about this earlier on, we were thinking band as in lineup.
Yeah.
It is what it means, but it could be which band have you toured with who were a pleasant bunch to be with.
That's true, and it's a great deal less invidious.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what it means?
I've no idea. I've enjoyed touring with all my bands pretty much. I think there's probably about 1.5 people who've been in the band that I didn't enjoy touring with. Yeah, and they were both bass players. And they weren't Dave J. And they weren't Rolo.
Well, that narrows it down.
Does a little bit, doesn't it? So let's go the other route.
Yeah,
let's think
go for a
about
stab
bands
at that.
we've been on tour
Yeah.
with. And I suppose the
Well,
obvious...
You've really got to go for one.
Yeah, okay, and seeing as it's a band and not a solo artist, because I mean, we've done gigs with Alex Chilton, which of course has got to count.
Mm-hmm.
When we played the Albert Hall, we had lunch with Arthur Lee from Love.
That's pretty good.
He tried to nick our guitar player, the cheeky so-and-so.
He should have resisted. He should have sworn to resist.
Oh well, we chased him off with bread rolls and things, but it was cool. So they're lovely, but I think for touring with someone, you know, really putting in the weeks, day after day after day, travelling around, I think it's got to be Downey Mildew from Los Angeles, because they're really nice people. They're really clever, funny people in their dry Californian way. And we spent ages on the road with them, going around America and Canada. In fact, seeing a bunch of Californians in sort of provincial Canadian towns like Saskatoon and Edmonton was an absolute joy. It was like watching a bunch of Hungarians on the loose in Portugal or something, you know. It was just English-speaking people over here who think that, you know, America, Canada, oh, it's just like a big hot version of Britain. I mean, they couldn't be more wrong. And yeah, Californians in Saskatchewan was a joy.
Nice. Question number 3. When's the singles Rarities set coming out?
Oh, that's a doddle. That's December this year. It goes under the title of Dr. Chumley Repents.
Any, really?
It's called Dr. Chumley Repents.
Thanks. A date? Is there a concrete date for that, or is it just?
It's early December. I can't tell you the exact date. It might be the 10th, but it'll be sort of round about a week into December, and that'll be on Fire Records, another of their lovely box sets, singles, compilation bits and pieces, leftovers, rarities, demos, and a 45-minute live radio set of one of the best things we've ever done, I think.
Nice, and presumably all inside a delightful book, as per the others.
Yeah, as put together by the great Alex Hornsby, yeah.
Really lovely packaging. Blimey, it's swish.
It is swish, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
It is.
And also, they're quite good for throwing. Oh, there they are. What a thing. So if you see something like that, but it's not the same colour, that will be Dr. Chumley Repents.
Question 4. Which is better? Girl Go or All the Stars?
Oh, hee-haw.
Discuss.
Well, I like Girl Go, and I like All the Stars. But which one's better? There's only one way to find out. I'm a lot bigger than Phil Parfitt, but I think he's probably a lot more useful. I would say it's got to be All the Stars, because A, it was there first, and B, the Girl Go thing really came out of just a little bit of fluff. We were doing a radio session in Montreal, and things had gone a bit wrong with Kiz. Kiz had been enjoying the touring lifestyle a little bit too much, and I popped out to go and do some other radio date for half an hour, and I came back in to find him face down on the studio floor and no longer taking part. So we had to sort of like, you know, cook something up that we could work with. And one of the things I did, I just went in on my own, played out this stupid little chord sequence, sang this stupid little rhyme. And that was the dawn of Girl Go. But it was really, at the time, it was just sort of like making it up off the top of my head and just trying to do something pretty to fill out the radio session. But then we started playing it as a band, we started playing it live, and it grew and it grew. And when we realised we were going to record it, that's when we went and got the sample from Chancet Degré, Le Matin, and popped it over the intro. You can just hear the girl's voice saying, "Tu as vu toutes les étoiles?" Which in French it's, "Have you seen all the stars?" So, like, you know, we're putting our hands up. Now, Phil's the best. Phil's a fantastic songwriter, and he's got a new LP coming right now.
It's out, isn't it, I think?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Or if it isn't out, it's going to be out in like 10 minutes. So, yeah, Phil Parfitt, everyone.
Yeah, check him out.
He's a genius.
He is that. He is that. Well, that is another successfully answered question. Rattling through.
Rattling we are.
And we've received a question from Chris Coleman.
Ah.
Right, it's the old, let's call it a classic for the sake of an argument.
All right.
What are your Desert Island book, luxury item and record?
Wow. You have to say, if you're going to take a record to a desert island, I rather think the luxury item has got to be a record player, hasn't it? Or do the rules just allow you a record player?
I don't know. It's a long time since I've listened to the programme, but I think you can say that. It feels like a bit of a waste. And seeing as we're not shackled by the rules, whatever they be, of Desert Island Discs, in fact, I think, fuck it, that's presenting you, you've got a record player on which to play.
Maybe there's a record player on the desert island that was left there by the last occupant.
I mean, I'm no expert, but I have been told that I think that all desert islands come fitted with a record. Now, I don't know if it's true. It could not be true. But let's pretend that it is.
Right. Okay.
That they all come with just one plug socket, which is always plumbed into a record player.
Yeah, okay. So we've got power, we've got a record player. What record are we going to take? Oh my days. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not taking any of mine because if I want to hear them, I can just do them. There's your luxury item. I'll take a guitar with me, thanks. And for records, it's a tough one. I mean, Beethoven Violin Concerto, What's Going On, Marvin Gaye. That new Bob Dylan album's got a few turns in it left in it, I think, as well. But just one LP. I think I'm kind of tempted to take Kind of Blue, actually.
I mean, there's plenty in there, isn't there? You're always finding stuff in there.
That's the beauty of it.
And I think, you know, I mean, you could spend a year just listening to the swishing of the sea for a break and then come back to it, and I bet you would.
And I could, like, you know,
still find
bang coconut shells together and stuff
like that.
Yeah,
you could do. I mean, I was thinking that you could fashion yourself a guitar out of, you know, maybe the shell of a sea turtle. And,
I'm not going to mutilate Chicky, the friend of children.
You're going to be on there for the rest of your life.
Oh, right.
One's eventually going to drift up dead, isn't it? And out of that, you'll be able to fashion a crude cello using maybe shredded palm fronds.
Be able to fashion a rudimentary Telecaster.
I mean, you know how I feel about Fender guitars. I think you could probably do that pretty well, and you could probably do it better. Anyway,
He's got a
book.
BC Rich.
I don't have a BC Rich anymore.
Did you flog it?
Yes.
Ah. He had a BC
Had
Rich.
a BC Rich.
He's got all the other guitars.
It has a wonderful Kayla tremolo. Honestly, you can scoff, but that is the most wonderful tremolo I've ever used in my life.
Bixby.
Unbelievably good. But you get all those Bixby stylings out of it and then get all the crazy shit as well. Unbelievably good tremolo.
Unbelievably good tremolo.
Staggering, honestly.
What are we talking about?
Book. Desert Island book.
All right, so
presumably
Wait a
with
minute, if I'm
salt-proof pages.
hold on a minute, hold on. If I'm fashioning a rudimentary guitar out of turtle bits, then I get another luxury item, don't I?
No, you don't, because I have zero faith in you pulling that off.
Yeah, but you're not going to be there.
Yeah, you're the one who's going to be stuck without a guitar. If you're planning to play this game on the understanding that you will be able to fashion yourself a guitar, I mean, I leave it in your hands.
It was your suggestion. It was your suggestion.
How confident do you feel?
Well, I'm going to have time on my hands, and I sort of know how they work. Because you see, if that was the case, for my luxury item, I'd have a brewery.
Right, okay. That you can a solo manable brewery.
Anyway, on to the book. That's a tricky one, isn't it? One book.
Yeah. It is tricky.
I think there's a compilation of newspaper articles and magazine articles by the American writer Harlan Ellison.
Yeah.
Called An Age in My Voice. It's enormous, and it's all short pieces, and they're all very varied on millions of different subjects. And of course, he's wildly entertaining on just about all of them. I'd consider taking Harlan with me, because he's a wise companion.
Good choice. Good choice.
Mm.
And not too crabby.
Explain yourself.
Just that you're on a desert island. You're going to have enough of that. Marcel Proust has got a question for you.
Marcel Proust?
Yes, he has got a question for you from beyond the grave.
I say. He's à la recherche d'informations perdues.
Oui.
Bon, allez.
His question is, quoi is your motto? Comma, your words to live by? Question mark.
Well, Marcel, lovely. Of late, I've spent an awful lot of time on the old internet of late, shouting at people and carrying on. And this little trope keeps coming up more and more. And I think it might actually qualify now. It may have become my catchphrase. And it's very, very simply, it's here to help.
Chilling. I think we can all agree. Well, I mean, that wraps it up. That we've come to the end of the pier of these questions.
So we've taken care of all deficiencies in human knowledge concerning the jazz butchers.
Well, certainly all that were registered within the time frame given. Now all that lies before us is a great ocean of everybody else's questions.
The great ocean of uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like life.
Well, there's not much we can do about that.
No,
There's
zero.
not much we can do about that here at Fisher Mansions. No. But yeah, keep them coming, I guess. If there's something you need to know.
Well, a very pleasant evening.
We're here to help.
Yeah.
Thanks, Duran. Thanks, Raoul.
Absolutely a pleasure.
Thank you all for paying attention to this garbage.
Absolutely a pleasure.
Good man. And yeah, we'll see you soon.